Hey everybody, it's your boy Big James, the Big Eye himself, and this is going to be another review of Married at First Sight. This is season 13, episode 12. Title of the episode Is There Someone Else? It's a pretty giveaway title, but it applies, but it also doesn't apply. I did not take a lot of notes, and I struggled to watch this episode because it had its moments, but it was mostly nothing. I'm gonna go couple by couple, not scene by scene, and I'm gonna start out with the couples that were the least involved and get to the ones that were most involved. It was like some of these couples weren't even really a part of the episode. Bao and Johnny pretty much dominated. No, Brett and Ryan had a good thing going. So, yeah, let's get started. We're going to start out with our first couple is Merle and Gil. They were barely in the episode. I guess because they're doing good, there's no reason to talk about them. It starts out with them in the apartment, and Gil tells Merle that his lease is going to be up in 3 weeks, and he doesn't know if he should renew his lease or not because they're looking for an apartment together. And Merle was like, "Oh, you should definitely renew your lease. No, you need to keep where you stay at because she don't want. I don't know if she was just playing or what, but Gil was like, all right, I renew the lease. You know, they got a weird sense of humor that only they get, but it seemed to make them both happy. So there's nothing you can say. He was telling her what kind of apartments he doesn't like. He doesn't like high-rise apartments, medium-rise apartments. He doesn't like elevators. So he wants somewhere. He wants an apartment where he doesn't have to take stairs. He doesn't want like a concierge. He doesn't want like a doorman. He's like, no, I can do all that myself. I go my own door. I can tote my own bags. You know, he wants just a regular apartment. He asked Merle what she wants, and she said she wants something brand new. Which, that's cool, actually. She said she just wants something new. It doesn't matter if it's high-rise, low-rise, a building, a house, whatever. She just wants something new. If it was just built, that's what she wants. She doesn't want something that somebody else has already been living in. And Gil was like, "It's all you want is new stuff. Everything you want is new." She was like, "Yeah, I want a new phone." You're like, "What's wrong with your phone?" She's like, "Nothing, but I want a new one." And she said her phone was 2 years old. And he was like, "Well, what's going to be different between the new phone and that phone?" And she was like, "Well, the camera." And they just started laughing because she plays into the whole bougie diva thing. It's not something that I don't think she finds it that offensive at all. She plays into it. You see later on, she's talking to her friend on FaceTime, and her friend calls her bougie too. And her friend asks her, like, what's it like being with a person that's frugal? And Miriam was like, it's fine. She was like, it's really okay because he's frugal, but only about certain things. And then the other stuff, he doesn't even care about it at all. So it's not even an issue if he doesn't care. And the stuff he's frugal about, he's willing to work with her on. You know, a friend asked her, "Are you going to change?" She's like, "No, I'm not going to change it, but I'm changing him because he's looking for bougie apartments." She said she likes that he's doing stuff for her. He knows her style. He like her being so open about her tastes and what she likes is very clear to him what he has to get. So when he was looking at the apartments, he was looking at stuff that she would like. So she is not changing him, I don't think, but she has made him very aware of what she likes and does not like. And he is kind enough, and he is smart enough and loving enough to take that into consideration. He's not just doing what he wants. He is really, because he can kind of do whatever. He put what he didn't want out there, and she just didn't care about that as long as it was new and nice. So I don't think she's changing him. I think this is one of those things that she said earlier that he just doesn't care about. And she said that, her friend said, "I was worried about the head because you said you don't like guys with bald heads." And Marilla said something that was very smart. She said, "I just stopped worrying about it." She said, "If I focus on something I don't like, I will miss all the things that are good about him." So, which I think more of them need to do. She said, "Okay, I don't like guy with bald heads. Ignore that. What is the rest of him?" So she said those first up to the honeymoon, she was focusing on that, and then she's like, "Well, there's more to him than that." So she put it aside and she focused on who he was, and she was like, and I just loved who he was as a person, his heart, his kindness, his compassion, his dedication. She's like, I loved all of that. So it was no point in worrying about what he didn't have, and focus on what he does have. And he has patience. She said that wasn't even one of the things she put in that she was looking for, but it's the greatest thing about him is that he is very patient with her, and she didn't even ask for that. So I think she is really into Gil. She's very much into Gil. And I think Gil is the kind of guy that should be with her. Because just like she said, he doesn't care. He might say something or he might make a thing about it, but he doesn't care. The only thing he cared about that worried him was earlier when about her wanting the new stuff. He said, well, what if when I get old, you want a new guy? Because he is noticing that she gets rid of stuff very easily and replaces it. And he doesn't want to get replaced. She's talking about Hype. And Hype slobbered on the floor. She cleans it up. For someone who didn't like dogs, she likes dogs a lot now. Because Gil was talking to his friend. And he was like, there's not anything that he was dead on. Like, we can't compromise on this except his dog, except Hype. Hype was the thing he wasn't going to move or budge on. And Marilyn moved. She budged on Hype. She loves Hype. They showed a clip of her doing everything with Hype. She's like, I'm not going to take him for a walk. She walks him all the time. She was a dog person but didn't know she was a dog. And Hype seemed like a really good dog. His name does not fit him at all. He seems as laid back and chill as a dog as you can get. And now she wants her own dog after being around Hype, the woman that didn't want dogs at all. So he's looking at like, she said that this was something she wasn't going to do, but she's doing it. And not only is she doing it, she enjoys doing it, and she wants to do it more. So she might say, I'm changing him, but she's changed as well. They're doing great. They were barely in the episode. There's nothing to talk about with them. But Marilyn and Gil are working out fantastically. Not none of these other ones. The next couple I'm going to talk about is Michaela and Zach. It started weird with them because, I don't know. Maybe it's not weird to anybody else. It was Zach at her job, it looked like. And he was talking about her, how she looks so good, natural, with no eyelashes, no makeup, and how great she looks. And she did. She looked better than she normally looks. Not made up. Getting made up, I don't think helps her at all. Because he was right. She does look better in her toned down way. Didn't seem like Michaela like that at all, though. Next, they go and play bubble ball, where they put on all bubble suits. They fuck around on the field, running basically with Zach just creaming her. And he asks, what did she ask him? How does he feel now about the relationship? How is it going? And she felt like it was going better. He felt like it was going better. It was something they talked about. I forgot. It must wasn't that big of a deal or important. It was some producer suggested bullshit. Later they're looking at the wedding photos and they're taking them out. I guess out of the photo album they came in and put them in different. A different one. They took their vow. Did they never open the package last week? They didn't, because every other couple went through their honeymoon stuff on last week's episode. They didn't do it. So they're doing that this week. They're going through their honeymoon package stuff. They took their vow. They put the damn vow on the wall crooked. I don't know why they did that. It has to be an inside joke. Because they deliberately, intentionally put it on there crooked. And they're looking at the photos about, they didn't realize how much they were smiling, how much they liked. She didn't remember being all on him like that. I remember her being all over him. I don't know how she don't. While they were doing that, they started playing a game with each other's names. Well, they would take each letter and come up with write something that started with that letter. And Michaela was very serious. It was very emotional. It was very personal for Zach's name, Zachary, and he did her for her name, and it was all jokes. He was like, well, I didn't take it that serious. I just did like in a jokey manner. And his was just as good as hers. because he was saying it jokingly, but it was actually very sweet stuff he was saying. And I think Michaela said she liked his more than hers, and he was like, well, I like yours more than mine, because hers was very deep and emotional, and his was very lighthearted but sweet. Michaela talks to her sister, and her sister asks how's it going with it. And she's like, Michaela's kind of dancing around like, oh yeah, we have stuff, but it's no big deal. Well, us watching it know, like, it's a big deal. They have blow up. They don't have just little tiffs or little arguments. They have explosions. And her sister said, she feels like Michaela is changing in these past 2 weeks. And I'm like, in the past 2 weeks? No, because she said Michaela usually bottles up her emotions and then she just explodes. That's her normal. That's what she always does. And it seems like she's starting to not do that. And I'm like, no, sis, she's still doing that. She's bottling up emotions right now by not talking to you. She's bottling it up right now. And Michaela says that, her and Zach are working on the communication because she says Zach tries to talk. Basically, he tries to talk too nice to her. He's too sweet or he's too kind. And she's like, I need you to be, she wants him to be more direct, more straight, sparing her feelings out of it. Just tell her, shut the fuck up. But just go ahead and do this. Like, she wants him to be more assertive and aggressive in what he says. And Zach is just too considerate and thoughtful and sensitive. So she's like, I'm not understanding what you're saying. You have to say it like this. So it's a real communications problem between the two of those. And she says it's getting better. And I don't think it's getting better. And that's it for them. I don't think that she's asking him to not be him. He is considerate. He is sensitive. He's a sensitive boy. And she said, well, you can't talk to me like that. I don't understand it. Which doesn't make sense to me. Who wants to be yelled at? Who wants someone to be blunt and aggressive and rude? Like, maybe that's not what she's saying, and I'm interpreting it wrong, but maybe she just wants direct, and he's not being direct. I don't know. Next, we have Jose and Rachel. I don't know why Rachel is fucking with this dude. I'm sick of Jose and his booty hole mouth. They start out with cooking, where she's cooking food and she has him to wash dishes for her. And once they're eating, they're talking about taking a trip. Her idea of a trip and his idea of a trip, totally different. She's talking about going to Europe, getting a passport, going overseas, looking at stuff, and being there for a while. He's like, hey, let's go see the rest of Texas. He wants to take a road trip to the other parts, what he said. Austin, that's where he's from. He wants to see the hills. He wants to go. He's like, Texas is huge. We can go to all the different places. And Rachel is not feeling that. She's like, no, I don't want to be in the United States. I don't know why Jose is so resistant of leaving the country, of leaving Texas. I don't know. It's like he's scared that if he leaves, he can't get back in. Shit. Maybe that's it. Shit. Next, they go wine tasting. And it gets... I hate the wine tasting thing is crazy to me. Because I have to side with Jose on what Rachel said. Rachel said, summer Rachel is different because Rachel is a teacher. She gets summers off, and she said every year for summer, her and her teacher friends would go out of the country. That's when she took her trips. I never thought of that. She said so for 3 months they were gone. They would take trips and then they would come back for the next school year. And she was like, if I can't do that, it's gonna be a problem. It's coming, and Jose was like, a problem? Because I'm on Jose's side, like, I can't just do that. Yeah, teachers, they get those months off. Nobody else does. And she wants him to go with her on these trips. And Jose is like, he can't be gone like that. And she's like, well, if I'm stuck with you At the house, I'm gonna get bored because I get bored easily, and you're not gonna like that, and it's gonna be a problem with us. And Jose is like, what does that mean? And she's just like, well, you'll see when I snap. And I'm like, that's weird. Like, that's inconsiderate and a threat. Basically, you're threatening him that he better take you somewhere for your summer, or else. That ain't cool. As much as I hate Jose, I'm with him on that. That's not cool, and she shouldn't have done that. They ain't gonna make it. They got two different approaches to life. From what Rachel was saying, that she ain't gonna never be married. If she just expects to do that, school's out, I'm out of the country, I'm gone, see you next year, or see you next school year, that's insane. There's no way she could just expect someone else to do that. Yeah, her and her teacher friends can do that, but nobody else can. She doesn't look at it like her and none of her friends are married either, because they do shit like this and expect other people to be okay with it. Like, no, your married friends don't do it because they fucking can't. Guess which club you just joined? The married friends, the married ones. You can't do this. They're doomed. Doomed. Next couple is Brett and Ryan. It's done. It's a done fucking deal with them. You see, it starts out with them. Who was it? It was, I know it was, I don't know how it started, but it was Brett and her friend. And they were talking about how's it going, and Brett is pretty much saying that she can feel that Ryan is done, that he's checked out, which sucks for her because she really likes him and she wants to keep doing this. You know, she's into him and what he's about, and she wants to make him happy, but it's pretty obvious that she doesn't make him happy. He doesn't want to be happy with her. And while they're doing that, they show Ryan and Zach working out in the gym, and Ryan is pretty much telling Zach, like, I don't like her, and I'm trying to like her, and it's getting worse. He likes her less now than he did when they first met. On the wedding day, he liked her a lot more than the stranger than the person he knows now. So he's actually losing attraction and affection for her. It's not growing at all. And she is like, yeah, she can feel it. She's telling her, like, I can feel that he's moving further away. He's getting more and more disgusted and just through with her. And she arranges a double date with her, with Brett and Ryan, Jose and Rachel at a ninja gym. I ain't never heard of a ninja gym, but it's one of those ninja warrior training gyms. So they go to the ninja gym, and Ryan having the time of his fucking life. Ryan is just like a kid in a damn playground. They got all this stuff to do, and he is just so smart. It's the happiest I've seen him the entire season. Jumping around on shit, climbing up on shit, and stuff. That's stuff he likes to do. Not Brett. She is in struggle city. For her to be an athlete, for her to be a volleyball coach, she is awkward, uncoordinated, and fucking clumsy. Shit. Not very athletic at all. Rachel, who's not an athlete, could do more stuff than she could do the damn wall climb, and Brett couldn't. And Rachel's just a teacher. Brett is an actual coach. I mean, Rachel. Yeah, Brett, I got the name right. Shit. And it was just. And Ryan wasn't liking that. He wasn't liking that she wasn't active and athletic and could keep up with him. And I don't know what. And from what Ryan was talking about with Zach, he hasn't told her how he felt, and he doesn't know how to tell her how he feels. And to me, that's bullshit. It just gets crazy and it gets worse from there, because he meets with his sister. Ryan gets with his sister. He's telling his sister like he doesn't want her. He doesn't want to be with her. He doesn't like her. He's not attracted to her. but he doesn't know how to tell her. And at this point, not telling her is just cruel because she feels it, you know. And he tells his sister, like, you know, staying with Brett is worse than when he stayed with her because Brett doesn't clean up behind herself. He was like, you know, and they showed the stuff of the second bedroom, and Brett's shit is everywhere. The second bathroom, she got shit. It just shit, like, it just fucked up. It's shit everywhere. You can't even walk in there. So much stuff on the floor. It's stuff piled up on the fucking counters, the sinks, the bed, everything. In the closet, there's more clothes on the floor than there are hanging up. Like, literally couldn't walk in there. I'm not a neat freak, but I at least leave the floor clean so I can walk around. What kind of a fucking psycho doesn't leave the floor open to walk around? He had a legitimate complaint with that. Because he was like, what if we move into somewhere together and she lives like this? But, as his sister said, you haven't said anything to her about it. You've made no complaint. You haven't suggested anything. You haven't said anything. She might not know this is even a problem. Yes. But Ryan said, you know, in his confessional, he said that in his family, they didn't do that. They didn't talk about feelings. They didn't express themselves. So he doesn't really know how to do it. He's like, they were a loving family, but they weren't very emotional and very talkative. They just swallowed their feelings and kept it moving. So he needs to talk to Brett, but he doesn't know how. He doesn't know what to say. But he knows he has to do it now. It has to be done because putting it off is just making it worse. And Brett is like, I need him to just tell me what's up now. Because the longer this goes on, because she's not trying to leave him. She's not breaking up with him. He is trying to break up with her. Okay, so he needs to do that. And so she's like, I'm just waiting on him to tell me. I can feel it. I can kind of see it. He needs to just tell me that he's done. They meet up together at the house. And, you know, Ryan is feeling bad because, you know, the flowers Brett got for her dog dying, his dog ate the damn flowers. And got the stuff all on his face from when he ate the flower. He was like, fuck. And he was like, I'm trying not to hurt her to make her feel any worse, but I gotta tell her what's going on or what I'm feeling and what I'm thinking. So they meet, and he just sits there, and it was just struggle city of him trying to talk to her. And in the end, he said nothing. He just stuttered and sputtered and flowed, and I think all he accomplished was, instead of sleeping on the couch, I didn't know he was sleeping on the couch till this day. Sleeping on the couch, he's not sleeping in one bedroom, and she's in another bedroom. She's in the bedroom with all her shit in it, and he's in the other bedroom that's cleaned up. So he's off the couch. It started out with him wanting to tell her that he didn't have feelings for her, and that he didn't want to be married to her anymore. That's how it started out. It ended up with him complaining about sleeping on the couch and how he can't function if he doesn't get any sleep and how he doesn't want to sleep on the couch anymore. And Brett is like, okay, motherfucker, I didn't tell you to get on the couch. So it's like, whatever, get in the bed. If you don't want to get in bed with me, I'll get in the other bed. That resolved nothing. It was a waste of a conversation. He didn't tell her he needs her to clean up. He didn't tell her how he felt. He didn't tell her he wanted a divorce. That's all stuff. He didn't say anything to her except, I don't want to sleep on the couch anymore. I need to get some sleep. Nobody told you to sleep on the couch. But okay. I don't know when the Brett and Ryan thing gonna come to a head, but it's gonna be ugly when it does. Because he's had ample opportunity to tell her how he felt. He's just not taking it. Because it's over. She sees it, he sees it, it's over. They just haven't verbally said it. Next couple is Bao and Johnny. Ooh wee. Johnny can't make himself look no worse. It starts out with them cooking together and they're playing, having fun and everything like that. It seems nice and wonderful. You know, Bao says that they never talked about the dinner So it never came up. They just went on their day, but she knew he felt something and was thinking something, but he never said it. So when they sit down to eat, Johnny goes the fuck off. He asked Bao, like, how much, they were asking each other questions. So he asked her, like, how much do you think you're giving in this relationship compared to your other relationships? And Bao said 100%. And Johnny was like, really? Really? You think you're giving 100% in this? He like, I feel like I'm giving 150% if you're giving 100%. And Bao was like, okay. Because Johnny was pissed. He says, like, you don't do anything. You do nothing. And Bao sat there and very calmly and politely rattled off all the shit she does. She's like, I cook. And we cook together. She was like, yeah, I cook. If cooking together, I'm part of that. And if we're not together, I'm still doing it. She's like, I clean. I do all the clothes. I keep the house clean. I pick up Johnny. Like, well, I do that too. And she was like, and I do it. You know, I don't. He said, well, you don't have to do that. She's like, yeah, but I want to. And I fold your clothes. I do all this stuff. I get all our meals ready for the week. She's like, I get everything. But I do a bunch of small things. He's like, but that's not doing anything for me. And Bao said something that was very nice. She said, I do a lot of small things to improve your daily life every day. And Johnny does big grand gestures. Like, what did she say he does? Or what he does? He buys gifts, or he'll get her something. He'll go out to eat or something. He'll do something big. He won't do stuff small. She said, I do small things every day to make your life easier and better. That's how I show you how I care. I don't do big grand statements that are empty and hollow, basically. She's like, I appreciate what you do. And Johnny does not appreciate what Bao does. He was pissed about the dinner because he was like, you cook gourmet meal, you said what you said, but you don't do that. And she said, I do that. And then she rattled off, I do this all the time. But it's not a big old thing, or she doesn't make a big deal. Even the meal they made right then looked amazing, but Bao didn't make a big deal of it. It wasn't like, here, I got you a big surprise. Here's this thing. It was just dinner. But it was a wonderful, well-made dinner. And she was like, I do meals for us for the entire week. Because they both work and they don't have a lot of time together to do a lot of stuff. So she does stuff when he's not there or when she has time to just make his life easier. And Johnny doesn't appreciate it. He doesn't even look at it as something she's doing for him. When she bakes things, when she cooks things, when she picks up stuff, when she cleans this, she's doing it for him. But he doesn't see it as being done for him. She's just doing something. Bao is an amazing woman because I know a lot of sisters that would have cussed Johnny the fuck out. If not, just hit him upside his damn head with something. As he goes off saying all these things you do that are very nice and wonderful and sweet, and saying it doesn't mean anything because it's not what I want. He should have got uppercutted to the fucking moon. Bao is doing a confessional, but she's like saying, I don't know what Johnny wants from me. And Johnny's in the back screaming his fucking head off. And he comes out, and Bao is scared. She is visibly frightened right now. And Johnny's like, I don't think we're compatible. He just whining, you know. If he don't like her, he doesn't need to say, I don't like her. Because Bao is trying so hard, and he's not trying at all. But he wants a porn star. A submissive, freaky, Michelin chef porn star. That ain't Bao. His uncle's birthday is coming up, and Bao is like, hey, I want to go to his uncle's birthday party. And Johnny is like, you know, because after that argument, Johnny went home. He didn't spend the night. And Bao was like, he's gone. But Johnny hasn't said anything to her. So she is getting ready for the uncle's birthday party, and she is memorizing everybody's name in his family because they have an English name and they had a Vietnamese name, and she's memorizing both. So okay, this is this person, and she is like, I mean, she stayed up all night doing that because she didn't want to insult them, and she wanted to know his family, and let them know that she cared about him and she cares about them because they're her family now too. Wonderful, wonderful. Because I wouldn't have gave a fuck what your people's names is. I figured out over time. I just say, hey, Unc, what's up, cuz? You know, it wouldn't. I figured it out over time. As I first met them, I wouldn't need to know their names right then. Shit. Probably like the first while I wouldn't know their names. But Johnny uninvites her to the hell. He doesn't want her to come to the birthday party. He goes by himself. This is how you know Johnny is fucked up. He goes to the Bonkers birthday party. And they say, hey, where's Bao? He said, well, you know, Bao can come. We're having problems right now. And he tells them what the problems are. And they're on Bao's side. Think about that. This is your family. You tell them you're having a problem with your wife. What's the problem? This is what happened. She's doing this, she's doing that, she's doing this, she's saying this, she's doing that. And they're like, that's great. He's like, well, I don't like it. They say, well, you're a fucking idiot. His own peoples. They were getting into him so bad, he got up and walked to like another area with his aunt. And she was like, you wrong. Because she was like, Johnny said it's not what he was expecting. She was like, well, that's your problem. You have expectations. Get rid of those. Get rid of expectations and accept her for what she is. She'll never be what you expected. She can only be her. Johnny doesn't want to hear that. He keeps thinking that he's right and that everybody else is wrong. And that Bao is wrong when Bao is clearly in the right. Bao is doing far better than any of the other wives for their husbands. Because she does small little gestures to make his everyday life better. She cares about him. She's trying. She's putting up with him. And his bullshit and his constant insults. So he went to his family, I guess, looking for somebody to be on his side, and they weren't on his side. That's not how I took it. All of them criticized him and said, it sounds like Bao is doing the right thing, you're doing the wrong thing. Everybody. He comes back, and I think Bao called Pastor Cal. And Pastor Cal is doing a Zoom meeting with them. And he asks Johnny, what's going on? You look sad. Johnny like, yeah, he feels sad because he doesn't like his wife. You know, he said, I'd rather be a match with anybody else would be better than Bao. And that shit, Bao is like hurt. Because she cares about Johnny so much. And she wants it to work so bad. And he don't give a fuck. And Pastor Cal said, hey, there's somebody else. Because it seems like you're self-sabotage. You're looking for stuff to complain about and bitch about. Because you don't want it to work. Even though everything says it should work. Somebody's in my door. Hang on a second. Alright, I'm back. Shit. What was I at? Johnny. Yeah, because Johnny was self-sabotage. Like he didn't want it to work. He wanted there to be a problem with his marriage. And Pastor Cal was like, what is somebody else? And Bao said, I never even thought of that. Because she could see that Johnny was looking for stuff to complain about. But she didn't know what it was. He says, no, he's just not happy with her. I'm so sick of Johnny. His excuses, his whining, his crying about everything. Bao is doing a great job for a motherfucker that don't like her. Johnny needed his ass whooped. Pastor Cal was like, why are you saying stuff that's so mean? And then Pastor Cal starts complimenting Bao on how good of a job she's doing. Because she's sitting there, he is just insulting her. Non-stop in a state of scream. And she is concerned for him. She is taking this. Because she wants Johnny to be happy. And she wants him to express himself. And I'm like, oh, he was sitting there with his damn head. I would have just uppercut his motherfucking ass. Johnny ain't about shit. And if he don't like her, he shouldn't. He should be another one that just says, I just want a divorce. And just leave Bao alone. He clearly doesn't like her. He clearly doesn't want to do. He doesn't appreciate anything she's doing. And it's just getting to the point now where it's just cruel for no reason. It's pointless cruelty. To constantly insult and overlook everything she does. And just dismiss it as nothing. Next, they see them in bed. And Johnny said, you know, I wanted to apologize for what I said earlier. And Bout took that shit. I'm like, fuck him. You know, he said he wanted to talk to her before the birthday party. He wanted to talk before Pastor Cal. He has never got around to doing it. The stuff he wanted to say. He wanted to apologize for the things he did and all that. And Bout, she accepted it and she took it. But it was fucking nonsense, man. Johnny ain't worth a damn. He ain't worth a damn. He's crossed that threshold of being like, he's just an idiot. He is just being a dick for the purpose of being a dick. That's it. He's done. I don't think he can ever come back from this. Because anybody who watches this can see that Bao is really doing a good job. And for him to just dismiss what she's doing, to not even see it as a gesture of love for him. Just, oh, that's just some shit you're doing for yourself. He said that I see you when you bake, you're baking for you. You're not baking it for me, you're baking it because you like baking. And Bao told him, like, Johnny, I don't know what you like. I don't know you. Give it time and I'll figure you out and then I can do the stuff you like. Everything he likes involves nudity. I can tell you now. Because he sounds like an idiot because when he talks, he doesn't want to say lewd and disgusting stuff. So he's editing his words as they come out. What's in his brain, he has to edit it before it leaves his mouth because it's going to be so gross and inappropriate that he doesn't want to say it. That's the problem is. He wants her to read between the lines. But he also says he likes vanilla sex. So he wants just regular sex with him, but her to do a bunch of nasty, gross stuff. I don't know what's going on with him. But I can guarantee you, it's dumb. That's all I got, man. Marilyn Gill still the MVPs. Everybody else is a done deal. Michaela and Zach is hanging on by a string. And that ain't gonna work either. That ain't gonna work either. But those are my thoughts. What are yours? Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Leave your thoughts down below. If you feel like I'm fucking up or I'm not understanding something, which is very possible, just let me know. So until next time, all right, peace.